Candace Peterson recently moved to the Tampa area, and she started going to a church for 6 months. It's called Greater Mount Moriah Primitive Baptist Church. Fascinating name. And all of a sudden, she started getting bills from them. They're like, you need to tithe more. They started charging her up to $1,000. She's like, what in the world is this? So Ross Story explains the predominantly black church, which has operated for more than a century, asked her to pay a yearly $250 anniversary fee and another $150 for Mount Moriah Day, whatever that is, amounting to $1,000, some of which would be set aside to pay off church debt. And she's like, what name so? It's like, that's your debt, it ain't my debt. I just came to talk about Jesus, and you're talking to me about how I got to give you money. But that's not all. They wanted money from her kids, too. The letter from Assistant Administrator Ladretta Spencer and Pastor B.R. Fulton, Jr., also reminded Peterson that children, including her 11-year-old daughter, were expected to pay $5 a month to the church in addition to 2 annual $15 fees. We're not going to let your kids out of this, okay? Jesus wants the money, Lebowski. So other church members were asked about this because they threatened to kick her out of the church. I'm pretty sure that's not how Jesus would have rolled. But Bonnie Maxwell, another church member, said, well, look, I love my church. I love my pastor. And she said, as Christians, we are required to be obedient. Perhaps part of the reason why they teach you that, so then they can then take your money. Okay, and then we go back to Candace. She's not buying it. And she says, it's like you say to me, if you want to be a member of this church, you need to pay this. If you want to find God, it don't say anything like that in the Bible. Okay, which is absolutely true. This is an old trick that religious leaders have used for a whole time, for almost as long as religion's been around. Hey, give me the money and then eventually you'll get into heaven. Well, that's not how it works. And so my final judgment is it's not dependent on how much money you have. How do I know that? I read the Bible.